Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning. Welcome to this information session about the academia-industry cooperation on autonomous system. This is the fourth cycle under QNRF-TUBITAK joint funding program. My name is Sadim Jawhar. I'm a joint funding program manager at QNRF, and I'm very pleased to be giving this presentation with Dr. Ali Al-Aboudi, ICT Program Manager at QNRF, and from TUBITAK we have Dr. Nihad Abu Nasser, Program Coordinator, Mrs. Isra Bojo Yamak, Scientific Program Experts, and Mr. Tayyib Kouchoklu, Scientific Program Experts, who will be also giving us information about the Turkey-based team. In today's presentation, we'll be giving you an overview about the call and the research priority areas. Then we'll move to speak about the scope of this cycle of the autonomous system and the eligibility requirement for the Turkey and the Qatar-based team. After that, we'll move to the budget and related issues to the Qatar-based team and the Turkey-based team. Then the pre-award stage, including the submission system, the QNRF and TUBITAK submission system. After that, the timeline. And then we will shed light on some of the helpful platform for this call that might be useful for the researchers that are looking for a partner to submit to the autonomous system call. And at the end, we'll be very happy to address and answer your question. I'll now ask Dr. Ali to start and give us an overview about the cycle of the autonomous system.
Yeah.
Dr. Ali.
Thank you, Dr. Sadim. This is Ali Al-Aboudi, ICT Program Manager with Qatar National Research Fund. Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome and thank all of you for your interest in QNRF and TUBITAK programs, and for devoting the time to be with us today. I hope this webinar will be useful to you, and it's going to help you to decide on your participation in this call. Usually we have a program went for three more previous cycles, and this is the fourth cycle. The aim of this joint program between QNRF and TUBITAK is to intensify the cooperation between Turkish and Qatari partners in science and industry by means of academia and industry cooperation. Autonomous system is the selected theme of the fourth cycle. This goal aims to enhance the impact of TRL and build the human talents in the field of autonomous systems. The call inspires partnering with end user and industrial sectors to facilitate data accessibility, testing, deployment, and commercialization by the end of the project of the research outcomes. The call also intends to lay the foundation for a lasting research and development and innovation partnership between all the consortiums of the projects. Next slide, please. What is autonomous systems? Basically, we know automation is defined as the automatically controlled operation of an apparatus, process, or a system by mechanical or electronic devices that take the place of human labor, replace the human labor action. This usually requires a pre-planned set of instruction or given commands. Our call is not about automation, it's not about automated system, it's about autonomous or autonomy. So autonomy goes beyond the automation concept. It is about making the systems self-directed and self-sufficient to respectively achieve goals and operate independently of external control. Autonomous systems are designed to continuously learn and adapt to different situations, not rather, implement a set of sequences of tasks. So it's about, continuously learn and adapt to a different situation and circumstances. Autonomous system also can feature smart capabilities, human-like capabilities or tasks like learning, scanning, searching, classification, perception, sentimental analysis, and much more smart human-like tasks. It's worth to mention that, you know, autonomous systems include a wide variety of technologies, enabling technologies, including sensor, actuators, robotics, mechatronic devices, Internet of Things, 5G, and machine-to-machine communication, augmented human technologies, machine learning, data analytics, big data, and much more decision-making technologies. All are related to autonomous systems. With the increase of data availability these days and the larger scale of the cloud services and computing capabilities, coupled with the recent, you know, innovations in robotics and machine learning, autonomous systems application, the scope of autonomous system expanded to include unlimited number of applications in exploration, intervention, agriculture, medical processes, medical purposes, even, you know, healthcare services, education, media, so many applications. But, you know, we'll go for the next slide so we can see what, you know, the research priorities that are related to our call. For the maximum impact, our call will be limited to the application of autonomous systems in two areas, namely industry and utilities. As we can see in the diagram, industry includes oil and gas industry, manufacturing and construction. Utilities includes power grids, water networks, transportation. It's worth to mention that our selection considers here, you know, the national strategies in both countries, discussions between the two agencies, and also the previous funding, other factors related to human capacities in the two countries. Also, we had the chance to survey stakeholders, and their input is considered here. Also, a white paper between exploring the landscape, the local landscape in Turkey and Qatar, has been generated by the QNRF and TUBITAK teams. And also, this has proved the potential and the impact of these two areas under autonomous system to be the scope of the call. It's worth to mention that proposals are expected to tackle issues related to technology of autonomous systems and or applications within or more of the above mentioned sub-areas. So handling these sub-areas in isolation of autonomous system shouldn't be the objective of the call. So we should, you know, address these sub-areas with the context, with the theme of autonomous systems. Let us dive in the sub-areas. Next slide, please. So as we mentioned, we have industry. This is the first area. Under industry, we have oil and gas. Autonomous systems are needed in all phases of the full value chain of oil and gas industry or planets. Exploration, development, operation, and decommissioning. Examples of relevant tasks include inspection, survey vessels, seismic operations, production support, decommissioning support, data harvesting, environmental monitoring, and much related, and other tasks related to oil and gas industry and production. Manufacturing is second sub-area under industry. Examples of this include the world-class robotics and intelligent autonomous systems for confined space inspection and repair, remote visual monitoring, autonomous warehouse operation, packing and assemblage, autonomous aerial and ground systems, process management optimization systems, high precision and accuracy tasks, and other, you know, tasks that can autonomous system can deem fit in manufacturing. Next slide. The third sub-area under industry is called construction. As we know, construction, you know, have the potential to reduce costs while improving the productivity and quality. So autonomous system can have a role in this. This can reduce injuries and free workers from conducting dangerous tasks. The applicants here are encouraged to introduce more robust and market competitive solutions based on autonomous systems. Examples of application are off-site automated prefabrication systems, on-site automated and robotic systems, terrestrial and aerial and nautical autonomous vehicles, smart support and lifting devices, and other tasks related to that autonomous system can support in this construction industry. Second area, next slide. Second area is utility, and we have 3 sub-areas under utilities. So the first utility is power grid or electricity utility. The applications of innovative autonomous control can feature in advanced distribution management system, autonomous grid devices, self-healing efficient grid, smart transactive energy, dynamic billing and tariff systems, reliable renewable energy resources, demand response and load management, smart energy efficient building, and all things that related to making the power grid, useful from utility perspective and also from demand and consumer side. Water networks. The applicants here are encouraged to work on developing advanced sensor for leakage detection and water quality monitoring, pollution control, smart flow meters, integrated smart water management, proactive maintenance, interactive network visualization, smart billing systems, non-invasive monitoring and repair, and other robotic assisted activities, and also other tasks that can serve the water network using the autonomous system technology. The last utility under the utilities area is transportation. So it's clear from the title. So example of autonomous systems in transportation include autonomous vehicles, shared transportation options, infrastructure to vehicle communication, real-time crowd and traffic management, route optimization, and other maybe tasks that can be handled better by autonomous systems also can be included under this sub area. By this, I'm done from my side. I'll leave you back to Dr. Sadim and Dr. Nihan from Turkey's side to give you more details about the call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ali, for this information about the call. We'll speak now about the scope of this cycle of the academia-industry cooperation. For this cycle, there are 2 types of application. New application, which includes proposals that are being submitted for the first time, or proposals that have been submitted previously but did not pass the screening stage, as well as the resubmission proposal. These include proposals that have been submitted in the previous cycle of the academia-industry cooperation, went to the evaluation phase but were not awarded. In this case, they can be resubmitted after flagging them as a resubmission, filling the rebuttal section in the application form, and highlighting the changes in the application form that have been made in response of the feedback received on the previous submission. I'll speak now about the eligibility, and we'll start with the eligibility of the proposal. And as you may know, this call is built on the 2+2 model, which means that there is a certain academia component that must be existent in the Turkish side and the Qatari side, and as well as industry and research end user that should be in Qatari and Turkey. Therefore, the proposal must include the participation of the below institution, either as a submitting or collaborative institution. And as you can see here on the slide, the proposal must include a Turkish academic institution. This can be higher education institution, training and research hospital, public research center, in addition to a Qatar-based academic institution, plus Turkish industrial partner, in addition to a Qatar-based research end user. So as you can see, there must be an academia, an industry or research end user from each country, at least one of each. So the proposal can have more than one of each of these as needed. In addition to that, the proposal must include at least one or more of the specific research priority areas that were just presented. And each team must be led by a lead principal investigator. So basically, we need to have a Turkey-based lead principal investigator and a Qatar-based lead principal investigator. Among these two lead principal investigators, they need to identify one of them to be a coordinator in order to coordinate the process of developing the application form with the research team to have, and then this application form will be submitted by each lead principal investigator to their funding agency, and we'll speak about that in the coming slides. I'll be now speaking about the eligibility of the lead principal investigator of the Qatar-based team. So for the Qatar lead PI, he or she must be affiliated to a submitting institution inside Qatar and hold a research-oriented doctorate or any of the approved terminal degrees, and the list is available on our website. If there is a research and user lead PI who do not hold a terminal degree, they can still apply, given that they have a track record in managing research and development projects and have a minimum of 5 publications, patents, or technology reports. Also, the lead PI must have a minimum of H-index that is relevant to the research area of his proposal. In this table, you can see the research area of the autonomous system proposal and their required H-index. So for the natural sciences, engineering and technology, medical and health sciences, the minimum required H-index is 10. And for agricultural science, social and humanities, the minimum required H-index is 5. There are lead PIs from research end users or Qatari national lead PIs who wish to participate in this call, and they do not meet the minimum required H-index. They can apply given that they have at least 5 peer-reviewed publications uploaded to their Q Grants account. Speak now about the principal investigator, and the principal investigator for the Qatar-based team, he must be affiliated with a submitting or collaborative institution inside Qatar and must hold at least a university postgraduate degree and have a suitable research experience that reflects the areas or the tasks assigned to him in this project. Other research team members include postdocs, graduate students, research assistants, research associates, technologists, lab technicians, lab managers. These are all fall under the unnamed roles. Also, the research team can include consultants. For the graduate students and the postdocs, in order to be added to the project, the lead PIs are required to recruit them through GESRA and PEDRA programs. As we said, the consultants can also be added to the project if they are needed, and they should be their addition to the project must be justified by the lead PI. By consultants, we mean experts who have an expertise to give an advice about a certain tasks or how to give an advice to the team how to address a certain problem. Therefore, they do not have actually a scientific contribution, and they're not expected to be participating in performing the work or reporting or analyzing. They can be added to the project, but they cannot be compensated from the calls funds. We have updated and included all the definitions of the unnamed roles and the documents on the QNRF website under the definitions and terminologies documents. Regarding the number of roles for the Qatar-based team, for the lead PI, he can submit only 1 application per cycle, and the count of individual participation in all the projects should not be exceeding 3 roles as lead PI, co-lead PI, or PI under all the calls that fall under the thematic and grand challenges research program. These include this call in addition to the PPM, the USRA, the Belmont Forum, the equine call, and the food security call. This excludes the participation of the project that end before 1st of December 2021. So for example, if you are a researcher who is acting as a PI in a project in PPM, you still have 2 free roles to apply to the autonomous system proposal. I'll now ask my colleague from TUBITAK, Mrs. Isra, to tell us about the requirements for the Turkey-based team.
Good afternoon, dear participants. And for the Turkish-based team, research team, the LPI, he or she is who has the ultimate responsibility for all the administrative and programmatic aspects of the proposed project, in addition to their research role. And PIs and LPIs, if they are from academia, they must hold at least a PhD degree. And the LPI or PI from public institutions, organizations, or private sectors, they are expected to hold at least a bachelor's degree. And if the LPI or PI from private sector, they must be working in their organization full-time for a minimum of 6 months. And the researchers, they must hold at least a bachelor's degree. And in this call, the foreign researchers cannot be appointed to the Turkish project team. And yes, next slide, please. And the for us, for Turkish team, the LPI and PIs and other member team members can participate with an unlimited number of applications.
Thank you so much, Isra. The budget of the proposal submitted to the autonomous system will be paid for each team by their respective funding agency. So I will start with the Qatar-based team, which will be paid and funded by QNRF. The duration of the project can be up to 3 years, and the Qatar-based team is eligible to request a fund that reaches $200,000 per year for up to 3 years. So the total for the whole project can be up to $6,000 for 3 years. 100% of the QNRF budget must be spent inside Qatar, and the 100% of the effort must be inside Qatar. The awards to the Qatar-based team will be managed as per QNRF according to their procedures and guidelines. Now, Isra will before moving to the Turkey-based team, we'll highlight the budget categories and component for the Qatar-based team. And this includes direct categories such as personnel, equipments, and consumables. So equipments are items that have a unit cost of more than $5,000. Consumables, materials, and services, this include items that have a unit cost of less than $5,000. In addition to travel, which can be up to 10% of the annual direct budget, the miscellaneous that can be up to 5% of the annual direct budget. In addition to these, there's the indirect cost. The indirect cost can be up to 10% of the annual direct budget of the proposal. As I said, again, 100% of the effort and the budget must be spent inside Qatar. I want here to remind that the private institutions that are acting as submitting or collaborative institution are not eligible to receive personnel or indirect costs. Another aspect related to the Qatar-based team is the co-funding and the cost sharing, which is highly encouraged as it enhances the partnership between the stakeholder and the academia and the research sector. And it also ensures the utilization of the outcome of the research by the end users and the society. The co-funding policy has been recently updated to allow more institutions to provide support. So co-funding is now, as per the new policy, is the mechanism through which third-party institutions contribute in cash or in kind to the project. Cost sharing is the mechanism through which any participating institution acting as a submitting or collaborative institution contribute in cash or in kind to the project. The classifications of the institution is it can be academic institution, and Currently and now, the academic institution can now provide in-kind or in-cash support through cost-share mechanism, meaning if they are participating as submitting or collaborative institution in the project. Other categories of the institution include public or governmental institution, excluding academia, private for-profit institution, excluding academia as well, and other types that are private for public benefit, NGOs, non-profit foundation, including QF centers. These three categories of institution can provide either co-fund or cost share. In either way, the lead PI is required to upload a commitment letter during his submission to show the commitment of the cost sharer or the co-funder to provide the promised support if the proposal gets awarded. Now I'll give the mic to Isra to tell us about the budget of the Turkey-based team.
Thank you. And the duration of the projects can be up to 3 years as well. And the Turkish academia and industry teams that are eligible for funding can receive up to approximately 4 million Turkish liras, and this excludes overheads and project incentive premium. And next slide, please. Yeah. And awards to Turkey-based teams will be issued and managed by the TÜBİTAK in accordance with its own funding guidelines and procedures. And we also expect a balanced distribution between the project budget items. This is a requirement, of course, again, but we don't have a strict rule for it. And the total budget, including overhead and project intensive premium, cannot exceed 5 million Turkish liras. And what are the eligible costs? The eligible costs are the expenses that are related directly to the performance of the project research activities. These are personnel expenses, scholarship student expenses, consumable expenses, travel expenses, and the travel expenses. For the travel expenses, the funding agency must cover all expenses, including health and insurance, for travel and accommodation of its own researchers in accordance with its own rules, and service procurement expenses, tools and equipment expenses, and indirect costs, but this is for private sector only. And cost sharing for SMEs, the SMEs are expected to contribute 25% of the total budget, whereas the large enterprises are expected to contribute 40% of the total budget. And for co-funding contribution, we require a support letter for the co-funding contributions.
Thank you, Isra. We'll speak now about the pre-award stage. And here in this slide, it summarizes the application procedure. So as we said earlier, a coordinator needs to be identified from the either lead PIs to coordinate the process of developing the application form. The Turkey-based lead PI needs to submit his proposal to TÜBİTAK through the website, and Qatar-based lead PI needs to be registered and submit the joint application through qgrants.org. The pre-award stage starts for the Qatari-based team by creating a profile, registering and submitting their proposal through QGrants, as we said. And you will find all the policies and procedure related to this call in the download center of the TÜBİTAK QNRF joint funding program. You'll find the call for proposal, the application form, and the other templates. Also, the other standard documents can be found in the NPRP download center, like the budget document, the screening document, the definitions, and other documents. And for the other policies and procedure, they can be found under the funding tab, policies, rules, and regulations. Here, this is to give you an overview how adding your H-index to the Q grants can be, since this is a new requirement for this call. So for the lead PI, after you create your profile, or if you already have a profile, you just need to log in. To the left-hand side of the page, there are the researcher profiles. You click on add new, and there are 4 types of platforms that can be used to add your H-index: Publon, Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and Scopus. Select the platform that you want and add the URL link to your H-index. And then, as you can see here, the H-index will not be added automatically. It will be entered by QNRF team. If you have more than one profile with these platforms, you can add all of them, and the highest H-index will be considered by QNRF. Therefore, it's recommended after you enter your information to log in after 1 or 2 days to check if the H-index has been added to your profile. I'll briefly give you a quick summary about the major components of the proposal preparation at Q Grant. These include the proposal summary, which is a brief description of the proposal, the background, objectives, and aims. The research areas, the lead PI needs to indicate the research areas and select the primary research area, highlight the collaborative institution from inside Qatar and provide supporting letters to them, and also indicate the names of the collaborative institution from Turkey. Enter the co-funding and cost-sharing information, enter the information for the research team, the PIs. You need to add the emails for the PI that he is used to create his account on Q Grants. And by the research team here, we mean the Qatari-based research team. Then the PI needs to accept this invitation for you in order to be completing your submission. Same for the consultants. Also enter the information for the other research team members under the unnamed roles. Upload the application form and make sure to use the updated application form that is available on the web page. Enter the budget in the budget section, address the ethical compliance and the IP questions. We have a step-by-step guide, grant application guide, that shows you the instruction to log in on Q Grants. It's available online on our website. I'll hand on to Isra to tell us about the submission through TUBITAK submission system.
Okay, thank you. And this is the first step for our submission. You have to have an ARBIS ID. So for that, you have to click on this address, email, internet address, and please register on ARBIS. Each role from LPI, PI, researchers, each role has to have a ARBIS ID. So this is the interface of the ARBIS system. So you get with your Turkish identification code, and then you'll get a password, and it's a pretty straightforward application. So next slide, please. And you will get a page like this, and you will just fill up the form, each section. Please fill the form, every part of the form you have to fill it, because we need it not only for the submission, but after the submission, we need to get all your information before the agreement. So it's important to fill out all the form, all the part of the form. And next, please. And this is our submission proposal submission page, and UIDB PBS TUBITAK OTR. This is again as application portal login. So it's a pretty straightforward and user-friendly website. Can you please pass to the next slide? So again, you can use your ARBIS ID and password in here as well. And this is the page you will get into, and this is going to be actually in Turkish because our Turkish researchers can get a Turkish copy of this. And so you will get a screen saying that it's multilateral or bilateral application. So you will click the bilateral application from this page and then move on to the next page. And finally, we'll get a screen like this. So the bottoms on the left side shows you how to make, how to realize your proposals. By clicking on the columns on the left side, you will get a screen, not the same screen, of course, but, and you will fill out the project, your project information. For instance, the first one is the project coordinator. You will need to give all information about LPI, and then the other column is the project, the teams, member of the teams, and then project information, which is the project title and the summary of your project, and the next title is the activity fields and keywords of your project proposals. And then project personnels, which covers the researchers, consultants, and the other PIs, not only LPI, the other PIs. So it's a pretty straightforward website and user-friendly. And again, if you have any questions, you can always ask us in any part of the stage. Next slide, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Isra. So here in the slide, you can see the application form for this cycle, and we kindly ask all our researchers to make sure that the same version of the application form is used and submitted to both Q grants and TUBITAK submission system. It has to be the same version, so please make sure you're using the correct version that's available on our websites and submitted to both sites. After the lead PI, the Turkey-based and the Qatari-based lead PI have prepared and submitted their proposal, it must be vetted by the research office for the Qatar submitting institution, and the e-signature should be obtained for the Turkey-based team. Then this proposal will go through the second phase, the other phase, which is the joint screening by QNRF and TUBITAK to make sure that the proposal are meeting the eligibility requirement, are meeting the requirements and conditions of this call, and the requirements and the guidelines of the two funding agency. The proposal which do not pass screening, usually they have a window to appeal, and the appeals will be studied by an appeal committee. And accordingly, the lead PIs will be notified about the appeal outcome. Proposal that pass the screening stage will go to the peer review stage, in which at least five peer reviewers will be assigned to the proposal to review them and evaluate them against set of criteria that are scientific and technological excellence, that represent 40% of the total score. The project feasibility, that is 20% of the total score. Relevance and caliber of the project team and institution, that's 20% of the total score. Impact of the project, that's 20% of the total score. And at the end, the appropriateness of the project expenses. This is being evaluated, but there's no score associated to it. After that, the proposal will go to the second stage of the evaluation. Only top scoring proposal will be shortlisted and will go to the programmatic review stage. The programmatic review stage aims to assess and evaluate the proposal in light of the peer review outcome, but given the strategic and programmatic objectives of the call and the two funding agencies. And in this stage, a joint expert panel, including QNRF and TUBITAK, will evaluate proposals on a set of criteria, which includes the strength of the alignment with the priority themes as identified in the CFP, effectiveness of the project to advance knowledge transfer technology and build capacity, the quality and importance of the local and bilateral collaboration, the potential impact on Qatar and Turkey and the broader TRL if applicable, quality of cost sharing and co-funding and the engagement of the end users, previous funding, the composition of the team in terms of complementarity, experience, and past performance. The panel will make ranking for the proposal according to their competitiveness, and then we'll make a funding recommendation, will be studied jointly by QNRF and TUBITAK, and at the end the awards will be announced. This will take us to speak about the timeline. The submission has opened on 28th of April. The submission deadline for the lead PI to TUBITAK is on 23rd of August, and by the Qatar-based lead PI to QNRF is 24th of August. And the research office vetting will be on 25th of August. The screening outcome is expected in October, and the announcement of the award will take place early next year, January, February 2022. The awarded proposal will go through a pre-funding phase where they have to provide the missing documents, meet any conditions required by the panel, and then sign the agreements with QNRF and TUBITAK. Before we finish the presentation, I want to highlight some useful platforms to the researchers that are looking for partner. We have created a LinkedIn group called Autonomous System Joint Funding Call. The group has today more than 300 participants from both countries. You can join the group, go through the members' profiles, contact them directly, or you can even check the posts that are already available in the group. For example, and I'm going to list some examples here. We have a post by Ilkias Kosha from C-Over Company, which provides hybrid and autonomous remotely operated robotic system. Our specialty is underwaters and robotics, and they are open for cooperation, when she lists her email and the website. We have another professor, Dr. Abdul Hafiz from Hassan University, and is looking for partners from Qatar and Turkey to participate, and his research areas include vision, robot control, and visual place recognition. Also, Dr. Marwan Khraishi from Texas A&M at Qatar, saying if anyone is interested in a joint submission focused on the application for autonomous system and manufacturing process, they can contact him at his email. Another example is Dr. Murad Dugroel. Also, he's saying if anyone needs a partner or a colleague for control or signal process institution, he can try to help, and he's listing some examples about the methods. Another researcher is Dr. Ugur Yayan, who's looking for a partner to create a proposal about verification and validation of autonomous system. Dr. Abdul Latif Baba suggests an innovative technical project to serve a new generation of smart grids, and the details are available on the links on the group. Dr. Kabir Biswas from Hamad bin Khalifa University. We developed and continue to a number of biosensors for light-based detection of biomolecular events. And he's indicating, he's listing a link to his lab, so if anybody is interested can reach out to him. Dr. Mustafa Irol from IWR Robotics Company. We produce an autonomous sea cleaning vessels to clean plastics. If you want to make collaboration, please contact us. Dr. Levent Kavash from Dukuz University, and he's offering a collaboration on development of the bio-based corrosion inhibitors for oil and gas and eco-friendly anti-fouling points and chips. Last but not least, Dr. Tarek Oskul, founder and CEO of Fatigue Pro Sensor Corporation. He's offering unique opportunity to monitor metal fatigue of structures, and he's inviting academic and research organization for collaborations. For those who are looking for partners from the Qatari side, you can also visit our website, QNRF.org. At the end of the page, you will find 3 tabs that might be helpful about the collaboration. First one is about the approved research offices in Qatar, and these are institutions that can act as submitting institutions. So you can visit their websites, check their research interests, and find the research team and reach out to them if you wish so. Also, the other tab about all the research institutions in Qatar, and also you can visit their websites. And the last one is about the collaboration opportunities. And here in this tab, you can find here the lead PIs who are preparing their proposal through Q grants and indicated that they are looking for a collaboration. You can find the research areas and emails and contact them directly. With that, I would finish this presentation, and thank you so much. If you have any inquiry in the future, you're most welcome to reach us about the Qatar-based team at QNRF, support@qnrf.org, and for the Turkey-based team to contact our colleagues in TUBITAK through the email uidb@tubitak.gov.tr. Now we'll be happy to answer your questions. And let us see if okay. So I'll be answering me and Dr. Ali also, if you wish, the questions related to the Qatari-based team, and for Turkey-based team, our colleagues from TUBITAK will help. Okay, so some colleagues are indicating that there have been an issue to update the link, and we'll be we'll be sharing also the YouTube on YouTube all this presentation. So all the colleagues who were not able to join us now, they can join us or they can watch this presentation again. There's a question here saying, does water network contain agriculture solutions? I believe Dr. Ali can help us in addressing this question.
Yeah. In fact, the scope is only for water networks, so it's not really went to the agriculture sector, because we have another call handling agriculture and with Ministry of Municipality and Environment.
Thank you, Dr. Ali.
Thank you.
Another question saying, can we have additional partners from Europe? So the call is for Turkey and Qatar institution. It can only include collaborative and submitting institution from either Qatar and Turkey. So no other international institutions can be added. Here, Mrs. Isra, did I understand correctly? Turkish industrial partners should contribute 25% of the budget. Is that true?
Yeah, but that's for SMEs.
For SMEs only?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it necessary to have a mutual agreement between Turkey and Qatar sides institution before the submission of the project? No, this is not a must, but however, the application form includes at the end of it a declaration annex, which includes all the information of the submitting and collaborative institution from Qatar and Turkey sides. There is another question. Will we have a link to this presentation? Yes, it will be available on our websites soon. Another question is, thank you very much for the nice and comprehensive presentation. What level of TRL QNRF is experiencing? Dr. Ali, don't know if you can address this question.
Yeah, actually, we don't have a kind of condition of TRL level. Although, of course, higher TRL will be evaluated and will be also recognized by the panel and reviewers. So we don't have a specific TRL level expected for. We don't make it as a threshold for the applications.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. Another question: does water network contain agricultural solutions?
Again, you know, I guess we replied to this question before.
Maybe if you can elaborate further.
Yeah. Agriculture, we have in QNRF, we have a specific call for this, so that's why it is not, you know, covered under this call.
Thank you so much. The language of the proposal is in English. Yes, the proposal should be written in English language. A question here, I guess it's for our TUBITAK colleagues. Is the USD Turkey rate will change significantly and the Turkish side will have trouble meeting the requirement? What will be the plan for that? If there's a changes and the exchange
rate. I think he's asking for the exchange rate. Okay, we will have actually a regulation within the limit of our TUBITAK regulations and applications rules, but this is a very detailed question, so it's not a question that I can answer like in a minute. So maybe we can talk to it right after if the project is awarded. But we have a regulation for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Could you please explain more cost distribution and co-fund? We have a question here. If you can please indicate if this is for the Qatar team or the base or the Turkey based team. If you can re-comment on your question or type it again, if you want the information for the Qatari team or the Turkey-based team, and we will address it. Another question, are we not allowed to recruit postdocs from Qatar under this call? Dr. Devrim Onal, so if this is directed to the Qatari-based team, you can recruit postdocs under this call only for sure from Qatar, and the lead PI is required to recruit them through GESRA or PEDRA programs. Another question about the TRL expectations, but we have already answered this. We are technology provider, Dr. Tariq Ozkul. This is to our colleagues on TUBITAK. We are technology provider where our technology is applicable to several topics. May we join as a subcontractor to research groups providing technology and expertise? I'll repeat the question again. We are a technology provider where our technology is applicable to several topics. May we join as a subcontractor to research groups providing technology and expertise?
Yes, sure. Yes, sure.
But let me add a point regarding this question. Actually, they have actually two options. Either they can participate as a project partner in a project consortium, or they can sell their service to a project partner as a subcontracting company. But I think it will be wiser to participate as a project partner, so they can get a separate budget and they can plan their own budget. So they have both options actually.
Thank you. Is there a preference among the priority areas, Dr. Ali?
Yeah, there is no preferences. All are in the same level. So whatever proposal is aligned to any or one or more of these areas, we're fine for all of them in the same level.
Thank you so much. Another question here is asking about, I believe this is for QNRF, is if consultants, international consultants can be added. Yes, they can be added, but again, with no cost. What is the level of industry-university relation that is expected? And what are the success criteria? Dr. I may add that I may just start with that the call has a must that there should be an academia and industry or research end user from both sides. So this is, to begin with, is an eligibility criteria. Dr. Ali, if you would like to elaborate more.
We have the definition of end users. So whatever it fits. If the industrial institution is gonna fit, I guess, under end user definition of QNRF, if it's from QNRF side or from Qatar side, and in the Turkish side they have industrial partner definition. So I don't know, he's from Qatar or from Turkey.
It doesn't show.
Yeah. So it depends on where are you.
Okay. Thank you so much. And so we had an application which was rejected last year. Is it possible to apply it again? Because topic is very similar. As we said, this year we allowed, if you mean by rejected, was not awarded. This year allows resubmission, so that if the proposal was not awarded in the previous cycle, you can resubmit it in this cycle, but indicate in your application form that it is a resubmission. How many proposals have been awarded in the previous cycle? 2 proposals have been awarded. Can we prepare projects outside of these priority areas, such as robotics and medical applications? Dr. Ali?
Unfortunately, no. The call is limited for the areas mentioned, industry and utilities, under industry and utilities.
Thank you. What is the size of? What's the optimal size of consortium? Could you say the more partners, the better, or keep it compact, etc.? I would say the size of the team and the component of the team will be evaluated according to the project. So according to the work packages, according to the nature of the work that's going to be done. And if the team that is included in the project would serve this purpose, this is going to be a plus. But I don't know if Dr. Ali would like to add more to that.
Yeah, the team members, and researchers should be well justified in the proposal. So it is not encouraged to have names that have nothing to do in the project, or only one day, or where they are going to work for 1 day or 2 days in the proposal. So it's better to have the names that well justified, and they have assigned tasks to them.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. So the question about the cost distribution and co-funding. So we had a question, could you please explain more about the cost distribution and co-funding? It was for the Turkey-based team. I don't know if Tayyip or Isra could elaborate.
I can step in. When it comes to cost sharing, the cost sharing is a must only for the companies. Universities and public institutions, we can cover their whole budget. We apply 100% funding rate. But for the companies, we apply different funding ratios depending on the size of the company. If it's a SME, we apply 75% funding rate. So that means 25% of the budget should be covered by the company itself. If it's a large enterprise, then we apply 60% funding rate. that means 40% of the budget must be provided by the company. Regarding co-funding, it's not compulsory. If they chose to find, a co-funding contribution, we request them to submit a commitment letter or a support letter, but not during the application process. We request the commitment letter during the contract signing process, so they don't have to submit commitment letters during the application process.
Thank you, Tayyip. Another question also about the Turkey team. Is it possible for the foreign participants who work at Turkish institutions to be member of the project?
Yes.
Okay, yes, it is, and a foreign national researchers or LPI or PI can take a place in the project, but provided that he or she is employed at an institution within the borders of Turkey. This is the must, but yes.
Thank you. A question to ask if this presentation will be available later. Yes, we will be posting it on the websites. Another question, can municipalities, public utilities apply for the program as applicant? If not, how can they join the program?
Is this question for Turkey?
I believe, yes.
So.
Yes, can municipalities, public utilities?
Metropolitan municipalities and city municipalities, they are eligible applicants to request funding from our funding program. But for this call, we have specific conditions. In order for municipalities to take part in the project consortium, they can only join a project consortium where an academic partner and an industry partner already exists in the project consortium. As long as this criteria is fulfilled, then municipalities can join the project consortium.
Thank you, Tayyip. A question, thank you for this beautiful presentation. Does transportation part include signalization, intelligent transportation systems, or any kind of these issues?
Yes. It is included, yes.
Thank you. Another question, do we have to provide all the names of the team, scholarship students, or is it possible to provide some of them? As do we have to provide all the names, or supposed to provide some of them in order to select them after the acceptance of the project? Yes.
Yeah, okay, it's for us.
Yeah,
you have to provide all the names but scholarship students. You don't need to, you don't have to.
Okay. Also for the Qatar-based teams, the postdocs, the graduate students, the unnamed roles, you don't have to indicate them in the pre-award stage. However, if the project gets awarded, you need to enter their information. Could you explain, please, what is the main requirement to commercialize the project? I'm not sure if somebody can assist in this question. To commercialize the project, what's required?
Usually commercialization is gonna be conducted or started by the end of the project. So during the lifetime of the project, it's recommended, encouraged, of course, to approach end user that they are interested in your research outcomes. And if there is an initial kind of work to commercialize, to partner with you, this will be nice. So commercialization usually by the end of the project, but it is recommended during the lifetime of the project to keep approaching the interested or the potential interested end users in your projects. And the main idea of the call here is to have industrial and end user on board from the beginning. This will facilitate a lot the commercialization and keeping the research outcomes to a higher level of marketability and commercialization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ali. I think we have might be the last question. What's the total budget of the call? How many projects do you plan to support? So we cannot, we don't know now how many projects. It depends purely on the quality and the type of the project that will be received and evaluated accordingly. The budgets that I can answer for the Qatari-based side team, the budget for each project is up to, as we said, $600,000 for 3 years. And for the Turkey teams, it's 4 million US lira, except for the
PTI and
yes. Please let us know if you have any other questions. We have a question, I don't know if we addressed it before. Under power grid entry examples, one of them is the reliable renewable energy resources. Does this mean proposals based on photovoltaic devices, emergent technology, are in the scope of this proposal, of this call?
Yeah, facilitating the integration of renewable energy to the smart grid or to the utility grid is also included, and yeah, it is included, yes.
Thank you so much. Please let us know if you have more questions. Meanwhile, I would like to inform our researchers that we are recording this presentation. It's going to be available online, and we might be hosting another webinar for those who were not able to join us today. Okay, any more questions, please? Please let us know if you have any more questions. Okay, if there are no more questions, I want to thank all our presenters, Dr. Ali, Isra, Tayyib, for being with us, and for our researchers to join us today. It's a holiday in Qatar and Turkey. And we apologize to those who were not able to join us, and we'll try to accommodate another webinar for you, so to address your concerns, your questions, and explain more about this call. Best wishes and happy Eid in advance.
Yeah.
To everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.